Most organisations are facing now an existential threat. We've seen examples with big companies who've gone from massive dominance to teetering on the verge of irrelevance because they didn't move quickly enough.
So we see these more rapid and much shorter cycles of adoption. Businesses that didn't exist 2 or 3 years ago now have hundreds of millions of customers.
The change is accelerating at a much faster pace than it was in the past.
So if big companies and smaller startups are working towards each other, the reality is the fast will win over the big and the slow.
We engaged Pollenizer to help us set up a framework to ensure that we could really get to market faster. And we can do that by de-risking the things that we were contemplating bringing to market.
For the last 10 years, Pollenizer has been in the business of transforming ideas into businesses and doing that with some of the best entrepreneurs in the world, in countries all over the world. And we've been able to capture that into something that we call startup science.
What we wanted Pollenizer to do is apply that startup science methodology within a corporate system to help us keep up with the pace of change.
We transform people into this entrepreneurial way of thinking because entrepreneurship is actually a discipline.
It's a mindset where we accept and acknowledge that there's a problem that we have to understand well and that there's some solutions that we need to test with real customers, with the real marketplace, and do so as cheaply as we possibly can.
Ultimately, trying to find a silver bullet that is a great success with customers ahead of time is very hard to do. The odds are much more in your favour if you make lots of small changes and build upon those incremental learnings. It's a much safer way to improve your product and grow over time.
Businesses waste so much time and money by working on the wrong things in the wrong order. What we can do using startup science is work on the right things in the right order by running experiments that gets rid of all the things we shouldn't be working on as quickly as possible and gets us focusing on what's working and building a business around that.
Part of our work is to move the corporation at the pace of change, to think differently, to use tools that will help them be more efficient, and to help the individual employees in realising that the world is changing and the way we work is changing, and to continue to keep pace, we have to feel confident in ourselves that we can be significant.
Pollenizer believes that everybody has an inner entrepreneur, and our programs and mentorship is all about bringing that out and helping them to create new growth for their companies.
Everyone can be an entrepreneur. You can be a marketeer, you can be a finance person, you can be from a legal background.
Today it's everybody's job to be an innovator. Everybody in a company must innovate in order for companies to have new growth, and if they don't have new growth, they cannot compete.
Health has been one of those standout industries that has refused to get on the digital train, but we're right on the verge of it, and Telstra Health, and thanks to the Pollenizer framework, is going to be right there as a major player for the future.
The landscape that confronts businesses today is terrifically exciting. It's easy to get very worried, talking about being disrupted, but there's so much more to be done in terms of creating the new future. Health, travel, energy, everything. It's all being transformed, and we haven't invented the companies and products that are going to make that come to life yet. So the world of opportunity that's coming out of disruption is so much larger than the world that's being destroyed in its wake.